Hey, you guys. Welcome back to the Level Up with Lori podcast. I am so incredibly excited that you're here. I am going to be trying some new things with this podcast. I have some incredible content that I want to bring to you, and I want to make it accessible across various mediums, social media, YouTube, iTunes, like Spotify, all the places with just like really incredible content. So for those of you that are watching me or listening to this in places where there's video, you will notice that I am going to record these with a video. And for those of you that are listening in on the podcast, as you always do, I don't think this is going to change a lot for you, right? It's just going to be the exact same audio. You don't necessarily need a visual. In fact, time savers hack for anybody who like digs into my trainings, other people's trainings. I very, very rarely watch videos unless there's a visual that I absolutely need to tune into. And I often listen on like 1.25 or 1.5 because I find that A, some people talk slow, and B, I can like totally pause or rewind anything that I want to listen to in a little bit slower. And it just allows me to get through more content, pull more learnings, all that good stuff. Now, I already talk pretty quick. So you may not want, like, imagine me on 1.5 or like at double speed. Maybe just do it for fun. I think it would be really interesting. Okay, so today I want to talk about VIP groups. And it's interesting because I was actually having a conversation with one of my own mentors who believes VIP groups are dead, who has been in network marketing for years and years and years, who has mentored like $1 million teams, but just doesn't see the value of a Facebook VIP group. She's seen so many of them flop, so many people not do very well with them. So they feel discouraged and they give up and like they're promised the sky and then it doesn't work out. And like, it's interesting because it kind of really does, solidify what I teach my clients and what I teach my team is that every single strategy is viable. It just really comes down to your belief in it and the energy and intention that you put into it. Because I would tell you from years of experience, from years of building my own business online and years of coaching clients and coaching an incredible teams, like multiple teams at this point, that a VIP group absolutely can be the heart and the soul of your business. And that's actually what I teach inside my world, is that it does become the heart and the soul of your business and that every road leads to it. However, it's not a foolproof plan. I can absolutely appreciate where she was coming from, and her vision for a social media strategy was more the lifestyle content inside your Instagram stories, which I'm like, hell yes, that absolutely needs to be a piece of our content strategy. But like, why not bring this in there too? Because a lot of times people feel more comfortable building a business inside of a private community. It feels like in our comfort space. It feels like somewhere we can be more ourselves. But B, there's all these places where we can cross over content and show up in multiple places, therefore reaching more people, while at the same time not producing more content. It's really just about knowing, like, what am I doing for where, who am I serving, who, where, like all those good things. For the purpose of this podcast, I mean, honestly, shoot me a message if you want me to talk more about Instagram. I do run my Activate Your Instagram workshop a couple times a year, so stay tuned for that. I'm sure that will probably come this fall as well. For those of you that are in the know, that are, woo, Amber Alert. And you can't turn those off, my friends, for very good reason. For those of you that are in my Level Up community, follow me on Instagram at Lori Irvin Coaching, or even are friends with me on personal, like on Facebook. You know that my Engage Your VIP group is kicking off on the 19th of September. It's the first time that I've actually offered this workshop totally free in a very, very long time. And strategically, it makes absolutely no sense to offer this for free. This is a program that when I launch, I typically make thousands of dollars from. It is my signature training. It's kind of where all of the magic started for me. But at the same time, I just had this real pull to serve my audience in this way and to be like, you know what? One more time. I'm going to run it free one more time. You'll probably never see it free again. Let me look up I believe it's levelupwithlori.com/engage challenge 2022. If that doesn't work, send me a message and I will hook you up. All you need to do is be in the Level Up community. But if you register, you're actually going to get reminders. You're going to get some notes from the things. And I have an extra couple little perks headed your way, just because I know things get missed on social media. So I love having that that email connection with people. And I know for me, when I'm taking a training, I need those reminders in my life. So that's what I'm offering to my community. So you're like, okay, Lori, long-winded way to get to topic today. What do you want to talk about today? So today, I want to talk about all of the reasons your VIP group may be dead, why maybe the strategy isn't working for you. And during the Engage Challenge, I'm going to absolutely dive deep into these different things that I'm going to talk about today. But this is just a little bit of a moment to think. Maybe it's not that the strategy isn't working for me. Maybe I fall into one of these buckets, and these are the reasons where I'm not seeing success inside my VIP group. So the number one reason, and this is the reason why I probably see it all the time, why I see people fail all the time, is that you are not being consistent inside that space. You are showing up here and there. Maybe you're only showing up when new products launch. Maybe you're only showing up for sales, but you ultimately aren't building a community. You have just created a space where you sell sometimes, right? And the truth is that even if that worked inside social media algorithms, even if Facebook would expose your content to your audience every single time you got around to posting, it still wouldn't work, right? Because people don't want to be sold to. People want to be a part of something. People want to see value in your products. People want to feel connected to you. And the truth is, whether you're in network marketing or any other business, you likely don't have exclusivity with the products that you're selling or the services that you're representing, right? There's somebody else out there, or there's a website, or there's competitors, or whatever it is. So your VIP group actually has to be a piece of your strategy that sets you apart, makes you different from every other person, and actually creates brand loyalty for you. Because make no bones about it, my friends, you are a brand. And this is another thing that I deep dive with my clients on all the time, because you need to build a brand. You are not just a representative of your company. You're a brand. And you're a brand that you can actually take anywhere and build anything with. And when you're a brand, you actually have freedom inside of your business. And it's one of the most important things. And as I've transitioned from one company to another, it was really driven home to me how critical that section of my strategy was. So inside the Engage Challenge, we're going to talk a little bit more about when to be posting, how to be posting, what to be posting. But what I can tell you is that consistent looks like 4 to 5 times a day and 5 days a week. And I know you're like, Lori, I want to punch you in the face right now. That's way too much. My audience doesn't all the things in your head. I've heard them a million times. My audience doesn't they're going to get tired of me. They're going to leave because they don't care that much. I don't have enough ideas to post that many times. Whatever you've said, I've had 13,000 people say to me and then come back to me later and say, you were right, it works. And it works for a number of different reasons. It works because we aren't just there to sell to people, we're there to build community, and we're there to engage. And inside my Engage Challenge, I'm going to talk to you about different types of content that you create. And I'm going to put the easy button on creating that content and coming up with that content. So push that one out of your brain. But it also works because Facebook algorithms, Facebook wants community on its platform. It doesn't want people simply there to sell things. It wants to keep people on that platform. So it rewards people that produce content that other people engage with. Okay, that's the key. And that's why you're going to get more eyes on your content That's why you're going to see more people interacting. And that's why ultimately you're going to get more sales when you get consistent in your business. There's also this intentionality piece behind it too, right? Like when you are actually actively building content every single day for your community, you bring a different level of intent to building your business. And it's just this natural trickle effect that even if you were just doing it for strategy's sake, you ultimately would be likely like showing up in your business in a different way if you're doing it that way versus being like, hey guys, there's a sale, shop my link, which PS is like got to be one of the most gross strategies out there. And I know we've all probably done it. And like, this is not about creating shame, but it is about doing better. So that's the number one reason that your Facebook group is likely feeling a little bit dead, is that you aren't being consistent. You're not showing up for them. So why would we expect them to show up for you, right? And honestly, when you get consistent and when you start seeing people that are engaging on your lifestyle content, your personality pillars, like the stuff that makes you you, the stuff that's like just fun and light and fluffy, when they're commenting and participating on that, you know they're seeing the other stuff too. You know they're paying attention. And that's amazing, even if they're not commenting on it. It's still a piece of ultimately selling to them. Okay, so number two, I've got them written down here. You aren't actively growing your group. We cannot get people in there and sell to them the same group of people until the end of time. It will eventually dry up regardless of what your products are. It is just the cyclical nature of building an online business. So you want to actively have a growth strategy in place to make sure that your group is growing by at least 10 people a month. Inside the Engage Challenge, I will dig into a couple different strategies on how to grow your group. It's actually a full training all in and of itself, but there's a couple pieces that I can like touch on here. Number one is going to be the content that you're creating in there. If you create content that is valuable, that people love, that people wait for, you're going to experience organic growth because people will invite their other people in. Number two, outside events and outside things that you're doing will drive people into your group. So whether you're doing online events, online vendor events, in-person events where you bring people back to it, doing reach outs, doing consults, whatever you're doing, it all becomes this place where all roads lead to your VIP group and you will experience growth. And if you have, like, I know whenever we set our goals for the month, we think, oh, how much sales do I want to do? How much recruiting do I want to do? I want you to add how much growth do I want to have on the different social media platforms that I'm on into your overall strategy, okay? And then ask yourself, how am I growing this space every single month? What's my strategy? What am I doing? And every month you could look back and be like, was I successful? Like, what can I tweak? What can I do better? What can I do this month? What can I do next? That growth ultimately leads to the longevity and the sustainability of your business, right? If you are constantly just growing by a little bit, like you're going to find that you're never going to come up against that brick wall, that place where you're like, oh, I don't have anyone else to ask. My group is dead. I don't know what to do next. Okay. Number three, and this is the last piece of this episode, you're going to have to turn into the Engage Challenge to learn so much more. You guys, this isn't just a 1-day training, the Engage Challenge. It's probably a 4 to 6 day training. Like it's big, but it is everything you need to build an active, engaged Facebook group that will produce sales for your business. And I'm going to look it up right here. So number one, like the last piece is that, it's levelupwithlori.com/engage 2022. Actually simpler than the first one that I gave you. The other piece is that you're either maybe being too salesy or not salesy enough. And I know this seems a little convoluted, Lori. Okay, well, how do I like fall somewhere in the middle? Too salesy probably looks like your VIP group is an online catalog. You're not an online catalog. There's a website for that. You need to bring more. That used to work in Facebook groups back when like Facebook's groups were an anomaly. There weren't like 1,000,006 of them. You got to bring something different to the table that sets you apart from everybody else, that makes people want to tune into your group. So you want to step away from being an online catalog. You want to start to be a person, a brand, a personality, right? And that's actually what's going to build loyalty inside of your business with your customers. Or number two, you are forgetting to sell entirely. So either not too salesy or not salesy enough. You cannot forget that you are there to sell. So you can chat about the Netflix, you can ask them this or that, but ultimately you actually have to expose them to the products and you have to ask them to buy, right? You got to show them the value in those products. You need to help them create a mental wish list. And it's the marrying of these two things where you're sharing value and creating content around your products, but also creating personality in your group that will lead to an active, engaged VIP group, a Facebook group where I was literally doing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in sales month after month from my VIP group alone. Now, of course, there were other pieces of my strategy that I believe ultimately led to that, right? Like the online events, the outside events, the reach outs, the consults, all those things. But at the end of the day, the actual group was producing, I've had months where they produced $8,000-$10,000 in sales simply from that group alone. And it's not the only strategy in place, and it never can be, but you will have a place that you can lean back on. Let's say you have, let's say in the summer, you're I need to kind of, simplify my life. Life gets really, really busy. Well, maybe in the summer, you rely on your VIP group alone because you've gotten it to that place where it produces, you can do that. Right? When you build it properly. So you guys, make sure if you love this training, you're like, Lori, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. levelupwithlori.com/engage 2022. Totally free right now. You're more than welcome to share it with your teams. If you are a leader in the network marketing industry, I highly encourage you to do it along with your teams. Even if this isn't the kind of training that you need, you will be surprised at what the outcome is when you lead the charge. When you I've had women set up a separate Facebook group where they chatted about the trainings afterwards, or the content they were creating, they shared their aha moments. Or I've had leaders that have set up group convos for their teams, and they would have accountability on watching the trainings, so set up their own homework and stuff. This is the kind of value that could really change your team dynamic, right? And this is the kind of thing that I wanted to produce so that we go into fall with the healthiest, most vibrant businesses that we've ever had that are set up for success. Okay, so you guys, that's it for me today. Thank you as always for tuning in. For those of you that are watching this, I don't even know where I'm putting this video yet, but I'm excited to bring you this podcast on a number of different platforms to put so much good stuff in it that I want 1,000,006 people to listen to it. So if you love it, make sure you tag me over on Instagram at Lori Irvin Coaching. Take a screenshot, show yourself watching or listening to this podcast. At the end of the day, it's great content to show yourself and the way that you are investing in your business. So love you. I will talk to you soon.